Preserving our natural assets, not building on everything, keeping farmland, being able to grow food for the future.
Further development of Stansted Airport.
Kids off the street.
The future is the young people of today.
Roof tax. Transport.
Low carbon economy.
In our housing and waste management.
The skills of our youngsters.
Improvement of its infrastructure.
Health, wealth and happiness.
Housing growth has to be coupled, assuming we're going to go with all the housing growth, is the places for people to work, so that there's business growth as well.
We're just not building enough affordable housing.
Every single month I pay rent. This is, of course, is not very good for me, but unfortunately I cannot buy a house because I'm lowly mother and nobody give me the mortgage.
To develop an economic approach which will retain graduates, we churn them out, they need a reason to stay, and we see our role as helping the region to develop by graduate retention, by training graduates that are needed for the local economy.
The worklessness agenda, but also combined with that the need for upskilling.
The trouble is, at the moment, the government is obsessed with getting everybody to university. Most companies don't want people to that level.
Before was many job opportunities and a lack of people to fill the vacancies. And now I think is right the opposite. Too much people, not enough jobs. And I think all around then, I think probably the crime. Yeah, I'm starting to feel this is not a very safe place, maybe because too much unemployment.
The number one thing to sort of settle into this country was English. Learn the language.
This is a low-lying area. If in 100 years, you know, with global warming, sea levels rise, well, you know, are those houses still going to be there, or is it all going to be flooded away?
If you don't have that flood scheme, you can't really develop your town centre, because, you know, all you're going to have residential, commercial, retail, all in flood zone 3B, which is the worst possible floodable locality if you haven't done something about it.
Get into a proper nuclear-based electricity supply industry.
Transport congestion costs the East of England economy £1 billion per year. By 2021, this will double to £2 billion per year. Clearly, we need to do something drastically to halt the erosion that transport is having on our economic growth. That is more investment in transport links, particularly rail, particularly in our urban areas, particularly on our key transport corridors, and we need to do this as soon as possible.
Upgrading the rail and road network, and also ensuring we have an ICT infrastructure that will allow the eastern region to compete with regions globally.
There's so much competition for the limited resources that are available that we have a tough fight on our hands to actually achieve the funding that we need. And it's down to cooperating and partnership. We must all work together to approach the government to make sure that we get a fair crack of the whip.
We have a relatively young population in large proportions of the region, and so I think we need to focus on getting more and more young people thinking about self-employment and starting their business. I think that will give us a real stepping stone into the longer term future for success for the East of England.
Should I be asked to pay the same amount of city tax that a man living next door who's out earning £600 or £700 a week at 94? I mean, they know I'm not working now. You've only got your slender income. Yeah, I have to pay exactly the same as anybody else at 94.
Housing and being able to manage at home and being able to be safe and well at home. So houses and homes that meet their needs.
I did have an attempted break-in at my premises about 12 months ago. That actually the people next door, I was in bed and asleep, didn't know. They nearly got in the back window.
Can't use public transport, and we have a taxi card that helps us. But you can only have that now if you're on income support or housing benefit, not because you're an actually disabled person.